happened, I can't quite see. Over the crowds that stand in front of me. Eyes are watching, eyes are watching. Could it be a bad dream? I feel safer at night when I look down from the rooftops above. What if I could erase the past before the damage was done? Who I am and what I've done, my consequence has come. Now I stand inside the storm, and there's no way home. From the moment I reached the other side, I could not hide from the great divide. I can't turn back time, my soul was mine. Get back what I lost, no matter the cost. Is there no way home? Is there no way home? Been pushed to the edge, seen the ones I love take the blunt of it all. I made a promise to always jump, no matter how hard the fall. My enemies bear the teeth. Tell me this will be the end. I won't run, stand my ground. Reality is now mine to defend. Who I am and what I've done, my consequence has come. Now I stand inside the storm, and there's no way home. From the moment I reached the other side, I could not hide from the great divide. I can't turn back time, my soul was mine. Get back what I lost, no matter the cost. Is there no way home? Is there no way home? Don't know if I will ever be able to get back home and see the ones that stood right next to me. I fear the worst is come. Don't know if I will ever be able to get back home and see the ones that stood right next to me. I fear the worst is come. From the moment I reached the other side, I could not hide from the great divide. I can't turn back time, my soul was mine. Get back what I lost, no matter the cost. Is there no way home? Is there no way home?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Killer Snow, and today we are going to be continuing our little hellscape project.
Is there no way home?
Yeah. I am going to be chowing down on some hash browns just as a heads up, which means I will be muting my mic and probably trying to duck my face off camera, even though my camera tracks my face, so I know it's kind of fruitless, but I'm still going to try. But I don't want y'all staring at this screen for too long, and I don't like ASMR crunching and chewing in the mic, so deal with me being muted for a little bit, and we'll just be kind of vibing to the music and doing some stuff. Yep.
Legend in the flesh, telling you to just get your purse up. I've been rocking stadiums before they got their first up. I ain't never been a king, I don't need to be worshipped, but some of y'all gon' have to reimburse us. Word up, yo, I was at your concert, yo. You don't want no kind of smoke. How I know? I just use my nose like I'm Tanjiro. All I do is win and make impossible look possible. Petty drama, I'm like Teddy Bomber when I drive it, yo. Idols ain't your rivals. You just in denial, and you ain't a boss if you got a disclaimer in your bio. Can't touch the untouchable, shake the unshakable. Talent is unmistakable, diamond is unbreakable.
I feel like I'm Huey and Riley with Japanese dubbing. I'm causing a ruckus like I'm a go ruckus. The heater is stuck, but I could get the bucket. I'm clucking a dozen. I don't give a shit where the granddad. I got a shit in the damn bag. They think of me highly and just like I'm Riley since I was a young and my pants sag. Like Huey, I'm woke still, but not the type that get folks kill. I got a dope in my coat still. I got the shit for the wholesale. Ain't no time for the chit chat. I don't know you, homie, get back. Promise you don't wanna get black. I am a pimp named Slickback. Hey, R.I.P. John Withers. All these snakes gon' slither. Why you laughing? Ain't shit funny. Got a strap like Jim Rummy. I came from the boondocks. You get 2 shots. I'm a bit scummy. Shut your mouth. You a big dummy. Looking at you, you a bit funny. Thank God I'm a free man, and that he made me a G-man. I've been fighting my demons. I don't get mad, I get even. I thank God I'm a free man, and that he made me a G-man. I've been fighting my demons. I don't get mad, I get even. Rest.
Niggas talking, he ain't on my level, we don't flow the same. Told that nigga that I need my flowers, I'm a rosary. Man alone me, that shit hit like Zay, back to my colder ways. OG, see me drag racing on the road.
So I'm gonna start breaking up the tower a bit just to explain where we're gonna go with this. We have to chop off 2 floors because we were going out of scope, trying to make a 4-floor slog through this thing. But that doesn't mean that I had to go and remodel anything. I just literally took out the doorway, the stairwell that we created there. We got rid of that box brush that was opening that up, and bam, now we just have a 2-floor tower that leads out here, but it still looks much larger because it is when they look out the side. So we'll be working a few things around that. And there's going to be some jumping around on platforms on the outside here where the player's not going to be able to see too much until they get all the way up here. And then they'll see, you know, out there, and the Rock of Greed, which, if you don't know what a rock is, it's a giant, monstrous, legendary bird, mythical bird-type monster thing. Basically, think like a Final Fantasy Zoo, Z-U, giant, demonic-looking, really big bird. Just think that, just perched there. That's what we're going for.
Got me someone throw up their hands and I bring in a demon. I got the key and I'm feeling like Keegan. Clipping it up and he thought I was streaming. Doing this shit for myself and the niggas that know me, so know there ain't no other reason. Stand at attention, they pledging allegiance. Dance if I mention, they begging and pleading. I got the sauce and they want the seasoning. I'm about to make me a meal off of reasoning. Pocket is deepening, wild obesity. Might get arrested for public indecency. Cause of antagonist, although my dick is exposed to the hose and the dough overflowing and spilling and showing. I feel like a shogun, I'm stacking the faces that look like a totem. We talk about weapons, we actually told them. A chop and a mag when a dump, making jump like a shonen. They target the kid, but I'm marking, get rid of them, leaving them coughing like swallowing cinnamon. Let me slow it down though. Get you bitch, what we fucking on a down low. Cause I cut her like a Pokemon. Bust her out the ball, she like a Porygon, the witch you finna download. A lot of ass kissing mudberries with the brown nose weight. I just put $1 million on a townhome weight. Going down home cause I now know how those Super Saiyan niggas on a cloud roll weight. Super Saiyan nigga on a cloud with a big stick. Sipping on Mystic, big drip, big lit, big fish. Water whipping like a Sharknado. Spinning through a section with the quickness, bitch.
Yo, my vessels like Bakugo blasting, they actually banging. My get a little mac and they setting them packing. You trashing the matchup, it's actually tragic.
Hash browns are OP. I'm just putting that out right now. If you don't like hash browns, I can't fuck with you. It's a spot. Okay, so I need to now that I've created this, I'm gonna need to create like a backtrack. Or I don't wanna have them go around the outside here. That would be bad. So I'm thinking broken wall right here. We'll grab geometry, box, subtract, so we grab a subtractive box brush. We'll rotate it. And toss that way. Bring it up because we do want it to... There we go. Maybe a little lower. We don't want to step up because that'll feel clippy when the player's moving through there. If there's a little ledge, there might be a little bit of clipping when they're walking, and it might actually clip the character into the geometry.
just here having a laugh with the shit. It's the only way I can retain a basic fraction of passion for it. And if my rap matters, then lies from the African diaspora should. But enough of hip-hop, I'm off down the chip shop. You want anything picked up? Or should I carry on cashing my chips?
Penmanship's a deadly sin, yeah, I'm the rat that Khan's facing. Don't let your chick get a glimpse or she'll be stargazing. Admire man's wit and marvel at my charm blatant. Iron Man fit, but she'd rather I was stark naked. Got my manga than my local Waterstones. I afford it from my vocal cords and tones, tours and shows. Train my voice religiously and practice what I preach. Cause I don't wanna fall off like the latter half of Bleach. Verse crafted like a scatter map, I reach for twists and references you don't expect, like Shyamalan's scene. Or stammer that speech like Georgia 6 when talking shit. You're doing corporate gigs for 40 quid. I scored a hit about an author's drawing.
Okay, now I can commit full attentions here. Now I can put my fucking glasses on too. So, I'm going to be deforming this this particular bit.
Trigger warnings, last name Normus, first name Dixie. I'm Sonic 06, you do not want to play with me.
Do we want that there instead? Yeah, I feel like that would work. A little too far though. Pop it. Oh wait, no. Yeah, we could definitely... There's that flush feeling we're looking for. Ba-dum, ba-dum, da-dum. We're gonna grab this brush editing mode because we're doing everything in brushes, so that way we can edit. Oh, come on. There we go. I had to slow down. There we go. We want to make sure that that is world orientation real quick, because I'm going to pull this edge up. I really want it to feel like it's something that collapsed in. So it might be Disney. Now I can pull this up a bit. Bury the booties, bury the two. I'm just airing my views. They don't want to meet for the beef vegetarian food. We're gonna drop this point. So we're basically deforming the geometry and giving it a more interesting kind of look and feel just by subtracting from it in particular ways. I could also grab other subtractive brushes and just keep on tossing them in to get unique shapes and stuff, so that way they don't all look like that every time I make a break in the wall. So just to break up monotony a little bit. And I'm thinking of potentially I don't know. I'd have to change quite a few of them at that point. Or delete them all, make one, copy it over. Yeah, that would make the most sense. I don't know why I was starting to get stupid with it. So I'm muttering under my breath a lot. I am sorry about that. What I'm talking about to myself is about whether I should go around and delete these subtractive box brushes that we're using to create the shapes of the cell doors, and if we should replace them with a... Thank you, and I love you so much. I don't deserve you. You're amazing. I didn't even mute the mic for that. So I'm debating deleting all my doorways here and creating a new doorway shape that fits better, and I can honestly just change the moving door model and it'll change across all the doors that I have duplicated, because right now it feels kind of wide-ish. I don't know. Oh yeah, So I mean, I like the how high it goes up and everything. That's fine. I just feel like that's 3 people sized. Yeah, that's easily enough to fit 3 people in. I gotta narrow that down a little bit, and I'm thinking narrow it up a little bit, narrow the door, or the door can stay wide because it's gonna be clipped into the wall anyway. But the top of it, I don't want it to just be that square. I kind of want to see if I can give it a bit of an arch. Let me experiment with it just a little bit. Cut the geometry into 2 pieces, optionally discarding. This operation only works in orthographic viewport. Oh. Don't want to flip. Create by drawing the vertices directly into an orthographic viewport. No. No. Really. But what about adding different new things? I see. They may not be about that life.
Just a feeble mind, I'll break it all. Leave them all beyond, forsaken.
So if there's any curiosity as to what I'm trying to accomplish, I'm trying to figure out how to add more, basically more edges to work with. And I know that it's something doable, it's just something that I have forgotten. So we're gonna do what any good professional would do in this situation, and I'm going to go ahead and start looking it up online. Sorry, someone has been messaging me on Discord, and I don't know if they're a bot or not. Let's see. So, what are we looking for? I'm not looking for Gopagle. All right. Unreal 4. Add edges to box brush.
Ain't nobody care about you. I don't give a fuck about your prayers or views. Ain't nobody ever gonna share your doom. Hind's out gone, but I swear it's true. Bury goons in the tomb of the Nazareth. I got boons for the Jews like an alchemist. And I'm new in a proof to the manuscript. To the name of the show, cause I ran this shit.
I didn't even think about that. Wait, did I? It is a subtractive type? Okay, yeah, no. It's
You ain't ever fucking with the overlords. Speak one word, they're dead.
What?
I make a holy man act like an atheist.
No.
Bitch, I'm not impressed. I leave them terminal, they wanna make a wish. Lay this shit to rest. I run the country like it's a dictatorship.
Yeah,
I
there
be
you go.
making money, so I play this game like pay to win. Get the media on my season shit, be the leader, I'm one of a kind. They gon' be the fifth, see their weaknesses, best consider you're out of your
what
mind.
am I? Okay, I am on the doorway. I really don't remember how to add. It's got to be somewhere in the edit tools. A pivot offset? Could this be the fabled thing that I've been looking for to try and get the perfect pivot points? I'll nerd out about that another time. Holy shit. Play the wall, play the floor, surface box. Oh, fuck. That's unfortunate. But maybe if I just go into any of these orthographic views, like this, maybe I can just pen.
What would happen if I didn't drop in? Mr. Saying was your only option. You can shovel like me with the chopsticks. Power leveling up as the clock.
Alright, so I'm gonna grab this, and I'm just gonna like zoom. And see what I can do about like trying to make something. Oh. Create new geometry by drawing the vertices directly into an orthographic viewport. Press spacebar to place over. Oh, got it. Enter to close the poly. So then I can do something like this, potentially, and then this. Is it even doing anything? I don't know. I don't think so, because it's not giving me like any kind of view of what is being done or placed. Oh, but when I do brush shape, it doesn't work. Unless, okay. Yep, okay, it was I was clicked into the box. I got it. I'm stupid. Got it. Let's focus on this area so that way I can see the general size of what it is I'm looking for. Jesus, I need to turn off like everything else though. Oh, did I hit the wrong thing? I definitely hit the wrong thing. So, what's happening now is that because I'm in this orthographic, it gets really laggy whenever I am seeing an orthographic view. Oh my god, it's gonna kill my computer. I'm gonna pause the music real quick, and we're going to actually have to force this to shut down because it's apparently going absolutely nuts. So sorry about the disconnect. So we learned something. We learned that that pressing the hide button on the overall map and trying to force everything to disappear all at once was too drastic of a change for Unreal. And it brought everything to a screeching halt. Luckily, we haven't actually modified anything yet. We've just been kind of there was that one brush that I changed up and made that little opening path, but, yeah. Restore selected. Could not be checked out from source control. Gee, I wonder why. I'm actually going to delete that now, because now I'm sure that I don't need it. I'm going to use fog for something else, and I'll figure out the fog thing on my own a bit later. So here's our end stairs again, and let me slow it down. And main character, I don't want the main character to be like right in the doorway, like standing in the trigger. Okay, we can put the music back on because now the computer's not freaking out. That shit almost had me freak out. Alright. So I'm just gonna leave those doorways as they are for now, I guess. But I will have to start making. Wait, where's? Okay, no, it's up here. Whew. Cool, it did save this. I'm gonna shift B and add that so that way it kind of looks the same. And we want to also bust this out. So let's go to geometry. We're gonna be subtracting from what we have now. We shouldn't be adding too much, except for maybe platforms along the outside for the player to traverse and potentially do some exciting jump puzzles. I don't know why there is so much on my watch right now. It shouldn't have anything open at all. Get rid. Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna put my tablet away because trying to draw the shape that we wanted was not being friendly. So we're just going to modify the things that we have and not try and get too fancy with this. I am gonna need to see how... Wait, where is this? Too far. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Okay. Box, subtract, grab, drop here. That's good. Yeah, that might actually kind of work. Should have laughed back then. That was real good. Now you get applause. Okay, I'm gonna also brush at it. I'm gonna grab this vert, kind of pull that up a bit. No, wrong one. I wanted this edge right there. So we're gonna go grab that, and I'm gonna kind of scoot that in and out here a little bit. So essentially, I like having explanations for things, and it wouldn't make sense for this tower to just randomly have holes punched into it. But there is a giant, legendarily monstrous bird on top of it. So that looks about the tapered way that a talon might sink in if it were shifting weight or something and it stepped off of its perch mount here and slipped there. That could explain a few of the stab holes that I'm gonna put through this. Oh, I love when it comes together. We're gonna... should be... Nope, not that. Not while we're in brush edit mode, at least. So this particular... Talon puncture! Yes! I'm gonna drop that just a little bit. A little bit more. Let's get in here, see if I can grab this edge, put it to world orientation, kind of scoot that in a little bit. Yeah. And now I can grab that vert, drop it down a little bit more. Oh, nope, nope. Messed that one up. Because we're doing the world orientation. Trying to drop this enough. Too far. Cutting into geometry from the other stuff. Okay. That should be fine. There it is. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna do that some more here too. Ain't trying to grab those. Thank you. Okay. Looks like a bigger hole from the outside and goes to smaller, so obviously something pierced through. Yes, I feel like that works for me. And how did I want this? I think I wanted... copy this. Instead of cone brush, that is now called platform. What is this? I'm gonna call that collapse. Shit, where'd the platform go? Okay, we're gonna take platform. This is where we start making things modular, whether they were intended to be or not. So we're going to duplicate the platform with Control W, and we're gonna take that and we're gonna slip it right out here. So we have this here. Maybe up just slightly. I don't want it to be as flush. Or do I? Just kind of a little, maybe? Object orientation. Let's get a 5-degree rotation. And maybe a 5-degree rotation. Is that too much? That is too much. That's crazy. Is it just perspective that's like messing with me? I feel like it is. I feel like it's that, or there's literally like the slightest like 0.0 something angle that yeah, there is. There is. I'm not bugging. I know I'm not. Snap scale. I said turn off. There we go. Get rid of the snapping and the grid line. And now I can micromanage. Yes. Okay. Tiny little lip sticking out. Alright, maybe just a little bit more. And we can go into the brush edit mode. And always just take this, invert, and slip that back a little bit. So that way when we go back to select, yeah, see? That looks far better and flush instead of the point being sticking so far out. And now I'm gonna need to drop some platforms, but I need to know where those platforms are going to go. So we can perhaps copy our Talon. There we go, the Talon puncture. And this is one of the mid floors of cells, so we're going to drop down here and say
JG went with the check is real. I only give you one option. I get this real blood. Took the red pill so I know the real ones. And you ain't got the roster to live still drunk. Everybody here can get touched. Your life is unrefundable. We dump, you get flushed. Everybody want
did I go too far? Yeah, that was too far. Okay, so what? We'll say right here. Oh, come on. Let's do an object rotation. Let's switch it to world. Is it gonna get close? Nope, probably not. It's way the fuck out there, isn't it? Nope, not doing that. Sorry. We agreed it would go down here, so we're going to delete Talon Puncture 2 because that decided to go way gone. We're gonna redupe that and we're just gonna drop it down from a point we can see. Whew, I thought that thing actually went further than it was supposed to. Oh, that floor was thinner. Did I just thicken that floor? I tapped that bitch and it was done. Nice. No. One there. Ah. Okay, yeah, that's right. I didn't. We're gonna rotate that about. Oh yeah, that's right. I turned off all the snaps. We can put those back on probably. Me, follow me, follow me, follow me. This is the thing that I was talking about with some of my classmates and trying to ask my my instructor, but he said that the only thing that he can really think of is to export it out to like Maya or something and change the pivot rotation there, and then from that you can re-import it back, and it's just a bunch of crap. If you can't tussle with the muscle, I don't stand you. Talk is cheap, girl, so I'ma show you what these hands do. If you wanna get the work, I'm the best of the best. Coming to the tournament, now put your Alright. Follow me. My buddy just messaged me all excited with a picture of Cloud's Strife, and I didn't know the context, but he's finally getting to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1, and I am very excited for him. When that came out, I didn't even play it on stream. I was like, nah, I want to experience this on my own without anyone else. This is a just me thing. Oh yeah, this needs to get dropped down. Oh, okay, so we're just gonna, that's the rotation ones. Okay, so we're gonna keep those rotation snaps completely off, because I can't stand them.
If you wanna get the work, I'm the best of the best. Coming to the tournament, now put your ass to the test. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. This is not for the weak, it's a battle with the gods. If you're thinking you are one of us, then rally up the squad. Follow me,
Nice.
follow me, follow me.
I could push that in further to kind of make that a bit more, but we're not gonna. We'll see how our character. Ooh, wait, yeah, the character might have trouble. Nah, it should be good. We'll see. Right now, no reason for me to just guesswork it.
I am like brick, so I'm beastly. Clean it up, I'm washing tons like it's DC. I spray my shots like graffiti.
Yo, my eyes are tired. I'm tired.
I hang 'em up by their feet, Mussolini. Ozod how they got their dogs,
I'm on the wrong floor.
I get the bag with no tips like it's PG. They spit a verse and would air on CBB.
Or did I? It's because I made the floor dip. Okay. I was like, there's no way that I fixed the problem and it didn't do anything wrong to anything else. There we have it.
They try to rap but they can't get an audience. Countdown until
There's that, and
they just order them. I bring the empire back 'cause I'm going
drop down a bit, and expanded, expanded.
You couldn't organize a piss up in a brewery.
Stupid. They wanna think that we're stupid. Fuck it, they don't even do shit now. Stupid.
I'm sorry,
You ain't got shit on our music.
That.
Stupid. They wanna think that we're stupid. They just afraid of
bit.
this new shit now. Stupid now. Look at the way that they lose it. Stupid.
Come on.
They wanna think that we're stupid. Fuck it, they
Oh, okay. Here we go. I can do this. This I know how to do. We're going to go here, go order, go to. Hello? Yeah, that's what I thought. And we'll toss that M base right there. Nice, we fixed it. Okay. Now we can get up here and I can go ahead and check on this. I am kind of working backwards now. I worked from the ground up before, and now I'm working from the top down, trying to develop my my path. Oh, come on.
You must be hammered if you think that there's a chance of you matching up to the damage coming from this mama's mandibles. I bruise a peak, I'm here to claim the capital like Hannibal.
I am going to go into brush editing. We're going to grab this and just scoot that up a little bit.
Stupid. They wanna think that we're stupid. They just afraid of this new shit.
And I need to check now what that may have done. This. The floor isn't sticking out through there, so we are still good. Alright, too twitchy. There we go. There. I just didn't want the floor to be like completely broken there. And now that we have checked that, I'm going to up that speed a little bit again. Let's double check this, triple, quadruple check this. Make sure we're not banging our head on a stairwell and then not having the ability to crouch to get under it and have troubles. I might have a crouching segment. There we go. We can fit. we're not getting fat shamed for our fat head. Go through here. Hey, look, we can make it out. Oh no! Falling into what's gonna be lava. Dead. Got it.
I do not care about egos. I kill it murder, she wrote. I send him flying, he though, cut through her body, he stroke.
This is actually
I put my heart into battle, the king of the jungle, I'm leaving them dethroned.
My darkest hour, I will still have a heart of gold. And don't you take me for a coward. I will stand strong till my soul goes cold. And you couldn't hope to kill me like that. No, no, singing a demon in an first. No, no, no way to die if I'm gonna die. No, no, breathing a fight and getting my stance. Until you know what's over for you.
I am putting a question mark on it because I am not 100% sure myself on what I want to call it or what I want it to fully be to make sense with my vision here. But this is something that I just kind of came up with on the spot and only recently wound up having more refined ideas and wanting to be a full project. Which, oh, by the way, I've decided I want this to be like a full project eventually. I'm going to be like saving the idea I generated for this and trying to build something around it. The hangar, that's like a thing that I might include as an Easter egg in another game at some point, just like a, hey, this is one of the first things I ever made, and I just kind of slapped it in here as a level. But for all intents and purposes, the concept and everything that I came up with this is something that I was already keen on trying to create, so this is kind of working for me. Let's go, yeah.
I put my soul into protecting those with lesser fates. I'm working hard so that the sun can set on better days. I grip the hand already, I would never think to hesitate. I lit a candle in the dark so
down
I
a bit
can light
more.
the way. I bring a force with me that's greater than a tidal wave. Backing down is not an option when there's life's at stake. I set the world ablaze because I'm never gonna die in vain.
I will still have a heart of gold. Don't you take me for a coward.
That was from two different angles. It was only meant to be one. We'll do this.
And you couldn't hope to kill me like that. No, no. Singing a demon in an first. No, no. No way to die if I'm gonna die. No, no. Breathing a fight.
Not too far, hopefully. Dude went a little too nutty on this. Just a little too... Put a little extra gusto. And it didn't need the gusto. There's just certain instrumentals that I am not down for right now. Doesn't say anything bad about the song, just every now and again there's certain sounds that, though I normally can enjoy it, it's like gonna be grating, and that sound was one of them.
Everybody think I'm crazy, that my aim is a bit insane, that's what they think, I don't blame them. That's so nobody will remember your name, 'cause we ain't built the same. Mixed flames and beat flames, I'm a pinch off, call it 3 blades. I get geeked up when I see waves, then you chopped up like the beat chase. Think I fell off to the top spot and with me grace. Go ahead, talk while I innovate, you get cropped out when I'm in the frame. When I grip a blade like slip away, they don't bounce back, no ricochet. Get knocked out, left in a daze, and the next week, not Saturday or Sunday, them in a day. We didn't grab them dinner.
I just had another idea. Yeah, I think I have an idea. I'm gonna duplicate this one, and we're gonna drag that all over here.
to be the best. On the set, I'm not a liar. Got the Reaper on my neck. Keep resetting every time of those who coming incorrect. They get their neck.
We're gonna rotate this like what, like right around 70-ish.
But you know that when you need another realist, that you calling on a realist. I'm a beast, way out of your reach.
So what? Doing this.
I heard you say that you're a G, that means you way out of your league.
Pull that in.
Way out of your seat, so you can see.
Oh, so we're a little canted, are we?
Can't nobody do it like we do. We stop the hustle? No.
Really? Let's make that a 0, shall we? Yeah. That's straight. We can do this. Slide that like that. Okay. Because ideally, I want player to jump on this and then have a panic moment because this will suddenly drop down a little bit. The surprising sound was supposed to be for dramatic effect. Because this is gonna... I want them to be like, oh, okay, so we're gonna jump here. Okay. Okay, this isn't too bad. This will be fine. They jump on here, and it's like, alright, yeah, easy. Then they jump on this, and then it has a jolt moment where I want it to basically drop like this, and like angled more. So that way, like, if they're not actively running forward, the stationary non-momentum and them dropping might make them fall. So they'll have to keep running up, and then try and jump onto that, which I will tailor the jump heights here in a second. Yeah. Actually, let me see. I should probably rotate this the way that it's going to be at its end state, so that way I know. I cry for Alexander Anderson. I've no masters, I got no prison. I move fast, the time does my bidding. I am thirsty. They think I led in the Zeppelins with it, I'm letting these bombs drop. It's hot in there. Your Christianity's keeping you bogged down. Just have to Vatican up on my name, cause they calling me God now. It's funny, I start making a hellscape, making everything all hot looking, and then it finally gets hot. Okay, we're here. We see this. It's like, oh god. What? Oh no. What is that? Oh, okay. Can't even jump on that. See, this is why we test things.
Oh, you're approaching me? What's your plan, boy? The show isn't even that popular. The abridged version was the
No, we're also going to change our movement location here. Our starting location, I mean.
You nearly died to the blood of Schrodinger's cat, boy. Damn glad I'm like St. George, as well lucky and dragon I'll slay. Be like bang bang, but it takes more than a bullet to keep me at bay. You an integral buzz retire, you've lived to a ripe old age. Now bring me a real vampire, you've got it backwards like your name.
Alright, end stairs there, which means there. Okay.
The classics never die. Up in my castle, levels high. While the Duke
Okay.
of me faced a lucha
It drops. Okay, so they can still run on it. That's fine. I should have probably gone a little slower on it, but
You cannot get the staff these days. You say you're a hellish fella, but you're not from the depths of the nether. Just cause you get kept in the cellar. Look at this gaudy fashion of decorum or class and atrocious view.
Alright.
It's like you ran through a pawn shop soaked in glue. Why would anyone be approaching
okay,
you?
easy. They tap that and then it goes drop. Oh, okay, we can still climb up here.
You can bite me.
Ah, I see. We will bump this up a little bit. Oops. Yeah. Yes, too much movement. Let's slide that back in here. That right there. So we're going to slide this over a little bit. A little down, a little over. We're going to shrink it like that. Let's see. Okay, we might hit our head again. Oh, oh, hey. Okay, this is too short. And look at that. It works, but it's not supposed to work like that. Oh. And look at this. We landed in a spot that we probably shouldn't be permitted to land on as players. You know what? I could scribble something over here in case someone actually does land here and just put a hidden trigger. There's going to be no way to land on that one or this one. Okay. Let's go back over here. That was too low. BSP. Not BSP. Brush editing crap. BEC. Brush editing crap. Let's put this to world. Location and rotation. Alright. I'm gonna make these a little treacherous looking and feeling. So that way people don't get too comfortable.
It's a warrior, formerly known as the Prince of Saiyans. I'm the playing Gallic on you gon' really see purple.
Let's switch that one to item. Yeah. But I joined the crew. Kakarot is on my spot, I got a point to prove. I put beams to beams like I destroy Sensu. My fingers like a cannon, I just point and shoot. Yeah. Get it.
Special beam on a cannon, I'll blast you. Take one of mine, I take one of yours. So tell Freezer that I'm coming for fraud. Never been okay with taking a loss for 18, but I'm taking a stance. Challenge me, you end up in a stance. I don't care if you invisible, man.
We're gonna put this back to select mode, actually. Rotate that about 180 approximately.
Orders to enter the tournament, temperatures falling, and death of my order is never ignored. Wreck a whole planet as simple as breaking an ornament, take it by force. Step to an emperor, that's not a clever thought. Gonna rebirth like the Renaissance. Bow to my beck and call, I'm a threat to all. When I get these balls like Messi scoring, I'm not gonna let no monkey jump me. Turn them into dust and rub me.
Okay, so let's try. Oh, come on. Hello.
You can't beat this pink up, cause this pink don't beat up you. You can hit it
committed. You boo. Cooler. End it sooner. Yo. I wish I could go back to just gaming. But developers nowadays are starting to take too many either shortcuts or getting too swept up in producing like assembly line products that are all so similar. Reskins of one another, and granted that is where I'm going to start when I try some of my personal project ideas, but my end product is hopefully going to be something far more unique, because I only like bits and pieces of other things, and I'm not gonna like make something that's an exact copy of something and reskin and say, hey, this is better just because it looks better. It's not about it.
I'm just having fun, beat down all your bums, trying to feed me, gonna take longer than Prince Vegeta's crown to come. Kamehameha, make ocean waves, enemies got a role to play when it comes to beat target practice in the open plains. Cause you facing a god, so who want the guitar? See no flaws, the sound of my orange key, that's what I call my secret sauce.
Last key, I fired them. Fast speed, no Cybermen, no heartbeat, no vitamins. A park key for retirement. You toss it with terrible vibes, try and make trouble the top of the top. Guess I'm a god, guns are a lark, doing my duty like Robocop.
Oh shit! Wasn't paying attention to my own shit. Let's see. There's our hole in the wall. Hey, alright. And if they miss, they jump into lava. And that's not my fault, that's theirs. There we go. You can make that. Get that. It comes out enough that you can do that. Hey. But wait, there's nothing further. So, okay. And you can start to see a little bit more. You got smoke, you got... Okay. Okay. I wonder if I even need this one up here anymore.
More than just a killer bitch, I'm stealing every ox core, dropping every horde, and that wasn't in my top form. Heard you had a couple bars, yeah, the battle.
What's here?
Turn this heater up and make these kitties pop more.
Okay, so it's not even a second floor cell.
What is Goku? You can never better me, and when you fuse together, then your life's in double jeopardy.
Come up here, this will be locked. They come through here, they will see this one open, and they'll see this, and oh, I should test that. I need to finish this up here so that way I can test that. We're gonna grab this. I said grab this, not the smoke effect. Yeah, rotate like that. Up and over, and we're gonna make that much smaller. That's like way too much. Shrink that down a bit.
Go ahead, take a little money, it ain't no sweat. You gon' make it back with some more bread. Probably have another buy yourself a little Rolex. You can make the money up with no stress. Picking your back for pennies, that's go tag. Don't you wanna have your mom getting more red? All that money's just waiting, dog, go fast. Yo, put a little more. She will never know. And we don't fall. Feel it, we so
okay. I just had an idea. For when I'm coding the and doing the sequencers for the cutscenes and everything, I'm going to make it so that way the player will, you know, find their way to get here, and they'll see that, or when they get close enough to see in, there will be a cutscene trigger, and they'll see, like, the Talon pop out of here, and they'll just see the hole. Like, I'm going to show just a Talon removing itself and leaving this hole. And then they're going to come out here, and then when they get to right around, like, we'll have another Talon chilling there, and after they do this little fall, as a second part of this same cutscene where that will drop down a little bit, then the Talon will come up and out of there, leaving that hole open. Yes, okay, that feels like it will be a nice thing to see, to hint towards, holy shit, there is some big creature up at the top. Oh my god! There he fucking is, the best, oh god, I've ever seen on OnlyFans, but yet he ignores me forever. Might as well give up on life. I'm so sorry, man. I swear, I looked up like 5 minutes ago and there was nothing there. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you so much. So much. Thank you. It's nice to see you. You're not unloved. And if you are, it ain't from me. Okay, so sorry, I was having like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast, and I just needed to spit my idea out so that way I can really have it pictured in my head. So now I'm gonna need to make giant rock talons for my fuck off Tower of Hell. Unloved. Did you steal a YouTuber's voice? No, I did not steal a YouTuber's voice. I have just gotten a little bit more comfortable with talking, just in general. Sometimes I do slip up every now and again, and, you know, or I'm like hit with a spike of anxiety or something out of nowhere, and, you know, just unplanned things make it a little bit more difficult for me. But generally, I'm just a little bit more comfortable with talking to people, talking to no one, and just talking in general. I might need to change the size of that. Or it could serve as a good point for players not to rush. Yeah, you know what? I think that'll serve as a nice message not to rush. And I'm looking dumb. Oh, hey, this is the spot that they weren't supposed to land on. I need to edit that down. They can't land there. We'll go to landscape, we're going to go to the sculpt, and we're going to hold control. Alt. Nope. Was it shift? Yeah, shift. Oh. Question, if it's the last outside grouping of jumps, shouldn't you make it go out into the air some so they stand a stronger chance to die if they fall? The point is not to trick them into death repeatedly, particularly since I'm supposed to make this as linear as possible and beatable. And I'm not supposed to go into finer details like setting respawn points and a way to, you know, jump back into a place where you left off at. And I'm sure my teacher would get pissed as hell if I made it just like a really annoying jump. And the reason I'm sure about that is because he literally spoke about it today, about how he gets really annoyed when people try and do complex jump puzzles and it's a problem. And I can agree. Trick them into sounds. Alright, so by sculpting this down a little bit, maybe? So I think that should work if we jump that far again. Because our player's cell isn't even up on this level. It should be... Our player's cell starts off down here. I'm thinking I want the player cell to be like right around here, which means I need to change the height of that particular door, or I change some of the flooring. I'll just shift this door so that way I can get in and out of it. I want to buy the complex jump package with the tricks of death, so that you build games for people. For right now, I am building games on request to my instructors because our homework is basically build games. You know, that's that's the game development track. And basically we're doing level design, so we're building individual levels. I built a, what do you call it? A hangar, and I had to apply gameplay to just basically a concept image. So I took the concept image, looked at it, broke it down, and created the things for the concept image, and then I built an entire stage around it and created gameplay and storyline and all that stuff to go and kind of fuel that level and give it purpose and reason. So that took about a month and a half because we were just learning all the principles of what to do, what to look out for, and how to build and all that stuff. And now we have to do it again, but in 2 weeks' time, and I am 1 week in. And it took me 1 week to create the tower, the landscape. Okay, that's enough experience for me. Let's build a game together. I have fantastic art ideas. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I could actually show you something that I did. Yeah, let me minimize this real quick. Epic. We can go to my library, and here I'll load this up again because I was pulling a bunch of I was trying to pull assets from it again because I liked what I did for this project. This was the first time I was messing around in the Unreal Engine, and I had 3 months to work on this, and I didn't decide and land on an idea that I wanted to do until the last month or the last couple weeks. It's you, of course. Okay, so ignore the fact that the sky is red here. It's not supposed to be, but because I edited my sky blueprint for my current project, I should have duplicated it and had a clean version to work with, because now my game engine's going to keep having a red sky. But let me pause the music and go in here. So we have a skinned character, we have third-person perspective that can zoom in, we have shooting, we have enemies with a UI widget for a health bar, and you can actually shoot them. Ragdoll physics. Hey! Come here, asshole. Yeah, those guys, they have a very narrow field of view, but once they lock on, they'll charge at you and then explode on you. You can just keep running until they drop aggro. These are operating on a spline curve, so I can't turn off the momentum on that yet, or I forgot to at least. My health is in the top left. I've shown this like 4 or 5 times on this channel already, but I do love everything that I did here. I was gonna try and do a boss battle at the very end for that particular one, since the physics are all janky. Oh, if you don't jump at the right time, the momentum will just launch you. And then you wind up in this little back area I made as a, haha, you fell, now you have to fight your way out. Let's invest some money and time into making something cool, but maybe profitable. Yes, of course. Of course. I would like to do things that are profitable. But for the current time, while I am focusing on my education, I'm trying not to do too many crazy things for a workload, and now knowing what goes into the game development process, it's going to be a bit of a daunting task. And I already kind of am secretly signed on to something, so I should also be making assets for that too. But there's no rush on that because there's no current timeline. It's still being concepted. Moonwalking? Oh, with the momentum launching? Yeah, I need to change some things in the physics if I wanted to continue anything to do with that, but I basically just made that a little killing field little demo thing. I didn't even show the coding that was in there, because that was, to this moment, still some of my best coding, because I haven't had the opportunity to really work too much on coding except for my actual coding class this semester, but that's been in C+ and Unity. And I should be able to, I could potentially, with enough time and effort, basically make like a little 2D Zelda clone in Unity. I could do that. Let's toss our music back on. And fix our speed here. Okay, we're back. I still need to test that. So I'm still only in the associates track, and I am, once I finish that, which should be like the start of next year, so around this time next year I'll be graduating with my associates. We can take time for it. Then yeah, I'm down. If it's something that I can work on small bits and pieces on... Hey! Oh, wait a minute. Is that still... Yeah, this is still a problem. I need to scoot something over. Okay. I might stretch that over a little bit because the perception is really janky here. Oh. Still hitting my head on things. Alright, we got in here. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna need to expand that brush a little bit. See? This is why we do this, so that way we can figure out exactly what is working and what isn't. So I'm gonna take this vertex, I'm gonna slide it over here. You wanna mess with us? Unbelievable. Goku, reaching heights unachievable. I'm stepping up, yeah. Oh no, you still need to get out there. Ow. Oucha. Crazy. Still very rough, but the concept is sick and would love to apply to D&D fans. Apply what? Which thing? If you're thinking about the concept that I'm fleshing out right now for this particular one, so my concept on this for the hellscape, which here, I'm gonna drop a text render in here real quick. And this is going to be when I say hellscape, this is how it's pictured in my head intentionally. Because you're trying to escape. Get it? Hellscape. Me and Little have been making a board game. Ooh, I did that too. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Let's see. Me and a few of my classmates had to make a board game last year. And we made a game loosely tied into some lore, or rather using popular lore names such as Freya, because we called our game Freya's Gambit. And there we go. We tested it out and everything using the tabletop simulator. A video game translation of your board game. Ooh. I like trying to convert concepts into other forms of media. So if I were to make this game, well, I intend to make this game, but it will take me more time than I will have for this measly assignment. I'd make you a 50-50 partner. I think it has big potential, long-lasting, multiple... Ooh. Well, we'd obviously need to talk and get things really, really fleshed out, because that sounds quite lovely. Why do I feel like this floor might be too high? No, no, it's not. Why couldn't I get into this door then? It was just a little too short. Let's see. Oh, crouch function. There was a message above them. There's so much text. Okay. By the complex Okay, I think I'm caught up to all the messages now. We will definitely need to chatter. Of course, you are welcome to my Discord, which the banner below will get you into, and we can chat in there, or I could pull your Discord out of its hibernation space on my Discord list and relocate it to a more desirable position for me to see updates. Either one. Or, of course, you know, you've got me on Twitter. I think I've contacted you on Facebook. You have plenty of ways to reach me, good sir, and I know how to reach you a bit. Right, the crouch function. I can, let's see. Let's go to our project settings here. Input action mapping. Oh, wait a minute. No. The character, third-person character should have a disable cloth sound. Reset after teleport. Wait for parallel cloth task. Cloth bending. We don't have cloth on it yet. Simulate physics. Enable gravity. Constraints. Nope. Or vid chat like business motherfuckers? Hell yeah. Absolutely. What's your preferred? I have Apple products now, so I've got plenty of FaceTime. Enable gravity. Definitely have gravity enabled on the capsule component here. Mesh. No. Attack with amp noise. Alright, here we go. Character movement. Crouched half height. Wants to crouch. Yeah, I upgraded for the more creative suite of devices. Kicked off the project. Oh, go ahead. My $6,000 PC workhorse is what I use for more of the work stuff, but when it comes to the art assets, Apple already had a lot of the stuff built in, so I didn't have to go hunting down specific software. I've been able to get some really nice macro shots for with my phone and use them as textures and other stuff, which I also have proof of. Because I've worked on a lot of stuff already, and all of it's just like my learner stuff, so I'm not really too crazy about which one is that? Nope, that's not textured yet. Halfway textured, final ones. There we go. Basically everything in here, all the textures, with the exception of like the skeletal one here, that was something I googled. Bye, hun. Everything in here was either grabbed off of, like, small assets grabbed off of Google, like Ribcage, and then I went ahead and went through the trouble of modifying it myself to make sure that it was transparent, see-through PNG, edited the photo and everything, so that way everything was as nice as I could get it. And then everything else is assets that I photographed myself, with the exception of this thing right here. Part of that is actual deer antler bone that the texture was provided to me by a friend, Nicole Burke. Very, very talented, and someone I definitely hope to work with on future projects. Don't matter, I'll give you my number on Discord, but even Facebook has vids, so we can do anything. Facts. Yeah, your work is looking good, man. That looks nice. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doing more stuff with digital sculpting. Okay, this needs to change. There we go. I have a lot of projects that I could show, just little bits so you could see the progress that we've made going through and coming up. Oh hey, the Freya's Gambit rules, all that. Oh my god, I really have done so much stuff in the last year and a half, and I'm sitting here thinking I do nothing with my life except for school, but it's having me do a lot of shit. Oh my god. My brain just like flexed for a second. We should definitely do vid chats and all that stuff. And I want to know more about the game that you and Little have designed, so that way I can get an idea of like the headspace I need to be in for designing around it. I haven't even gotten down to the 3rd floor yet. We need to see if that works now. I'm not gonna do the jump puzzle outside again before making these minor alterations. First off, this still needs to be rotated back this way because it's not supposed to be down there yet. Because it's supposed to drop down, we will make a sequencer animation for it to do that drop down. We're gonna do a rotation here, and we're going to kind of scoot this up and then back a little bit more because of the fact that we haven't. Oh yeah, there was that little issue. We're gonna use our brush editor, and we're gonna make this. It gets like that, man. Yeah. I'll say I gave my parents a call yesterday, and my stepmom was joking about how, like, oh, world's smallest violin, because I haven't been able to basically do much of anything besides work, and she was a workaholic, is and was a workaholic, but less so now. But it's like, come on, like this is rough. Especially since there's so many people trying to get into this field now that the competition is just ramped up a lot more. We're gonna need to shorten this one up a little bit more, which is fine because our jumps can manage it. Shorten that. I hope the character can fit through there. Oh. Wife messaged me, hang on. I'm so close to making big moves that will lead to never working again. Yeah, me and the missus have been tossing some ideas around too. We're trying to live a good life where we have time for everything. I don't understand what this photo is. Alright. Which, if I can get to that point, I would be able to help fund the game sooner if you go down that road so that you can pick your own projects or work on your own things. First off, that'd be nutty as shit. And also very greatly appreciated. I was going to work on my own projects either way. It would just be obviously far easier with resources, so that way I can outsource certain parts of projects. Because I'm not going to lie, I am steering myself away from Dead by Daylight because they've broken their game so much that it is nowhere near what its genre is supposed to be. Oh. Let's full screen this for a sec here. Alright, so we've got our... Let's check the things that we fixed. Alright, so we've got our modular doors. Oh. That's a problem. I might need to change the blueprint for that just a little bit more. Because that's the second door that I've snagged my head on. So let's see, Z-axis. Let's put this at like, I'm gonna say 230. We'll recompile it, we'll save it, and let's see what happens now. I started playing again the other day and have been having a blast. You love the new ads? Are you playing Survivor or Killer? Because the game is completely unbalanced for killers in the mid-high to high MMR. You haven't played in a long time too, so your MMR is like bottom right now. Alright, let's see how the doors go. Alright, that is perfect clearance. That is the kind of clearance we're looking for with this. I might need to take another look at the floor here, though. You see this, right? What's happening there? I think that's the stair that we blocked off because we were told to cut down the size of our tower. This is a 4-floor tower, but we have officially been instructed to stick to just 2 floors before hitting the top. You've been playing Survivor? Yeah. Yeah, see, Survivor is the power role in the game. It's really gone downhill. It's what motivated me to go so hard into game development, honestly, that it upset me that much to see like a game that I was really loving just get forgotten. Like, I don't know if you were tracking the drama with Dowsey, where, you know, he gave a criticism about something they were doing about the game, and then they said, well, since you decided to attack us, we're going to take away your Twitch shirt cosmetics that we put in the game, give them to literally everyone else in the game but you, and you're no longer a Fog Whisperer. And I get it, they can retract someone's Fog Whisperer status for whatever, because that's just, you know, their little program, but what does that say about them as professionals, that someone offered them a criticism, someone in their community, heavily in their community, offered a constructive criticism, and they reacted so negatively towards it? Like, it was not handled well. It was not handled well at all, and they kept on backtracking on things that they were saying, such as that their game balance isn't a problem, but they outright said that their game is balanced for 1v1, v1, v1, v1. So it's not a 1v4 asymmetrical. It's a 1v1, v1, v1, v1 game where 4 of those ones stack up against 1. That makes sense on their end. If you badmouth the job you work for, they will fire you. Yeah, correct. Like I said, like they have every right to do that, but that wasn't badmouthing. Like if you saw how he, you know, approached it, how he said things, you know, he wasn't slandering them at all. He was offering constructive, professional sounding criticism, which I would have viewed as, all right, this kind of makes sense. I should probably look into it. But their reaction and how vehemently they defended that reaction, like, no one wants to say anything against them anymore. And they're not listening to their community. You know, they're ignoring an entire half of their community that's disappearing, and they're wondering why their queue times are jacked up and why it takes like 15 minutes for survivor queues and killer queues are instant. Because no one wants to play killer anymore. It's stressful. It is more anxiety-inducing and more stress-inducing playing the killer role at mid, not even at competitive levels, just mid. Once you get to mid MMR, that's when it starts getting stressful as a killer player. And they're not listening. And very recently, you know, it isn't live yet, but they are starting to implement more buffs to killer things, such as, I think it was the Mangled. It's either the Mangled or the Hemorrhaged effect is getting a buff. It's always been set up that way, and you have to remember a lot of these changes came about because of toxic killers. I also understand from a developer perspective that a lot of that is based on, you know, community optics. Such as, essentially, whichever side is willing to play the scummiest is going to win. I'm going to say it outright. Because when I started playing scummier, I started winning more. But then I started going up against, you know, survivors that were playing even scummier at higher tiers. So it's just, it takes away the fun of it, and it's just introducing this constant toxicity on both sides. It was important to change that because killers were hijacking the game and making new players quit. Okay, I can understand that, but once those new players aren't new players anymore, then the game is no longer geared towards them, and it becomes a constant beatdown. And then it's not fun anymore. Usually I've got a very good tolerance to wait out whenever things are kind of bad, but it's been pretty consistent. They released a new killer, the Onryu, and she's fun. I enjoy playing her. She is fun. But she's not that effective without like the use of one of her iridescent add-ons, because at the mid to late game, survivors will complete the gens as quickly as they can first, and then they will decide to play with the killer, because their objective doesn't actually require interaction with the killer at all. Not high rating Kiplingers, mind you, but there was a long time where toxic killers hijacked the game and made it almost no fun for survivors, and seeing that you need 4 survivors for every 1 killer. Yeah, no, that's not the case anymore, though. A single survivor could take up to 4 hits to down. Like, I'm being legitimate. It could take almost 4 hits to down a single survivor, and then they have so many ways to prevent a hook from happening that usually 3 gens will get done before you get like 2 hooks, if the survivors are doing what they normally do and just rush everything real quick and then start fooling around when there's like 1 to 2 gens left. It's a pattern. It's a pattern, and I have watched it happen consistently. Like, I will find the trend before I announce it, and then I will monitor it much more closely, and I see it happening. And if you decide to play scummier so that way you win, you're a bad guy, and then they'll, you know, tell you to kill yourself in the endgame chat. Because you can't win. It's a fundamental problem in the fact that the survivor's objective is to complete generators and escape, which has nothing to do with the killer whatsoever. Besides the fact that the killer knows to find you there so that way he can complete his objective, which is to kill the survivors. So while he's chasing his objective, which he needs 12 of to be successful technically, because it's hook states, and they want you to chase... You're supposed to be encouraged to chase hooks, yet the MMR system rewards sacrifices versus hooks. Their systems are all contradicting and all messed up. Yeah, definitely. Well, who cares? I do! As a game developer and as a game player, I care! I care about the balance of things. I care about the way that it was intended to be and maintaining that, staying true to that idea that you had. And so far, they've invalidated half of their perks. You know, there's so many things that are just cluttering the game that don't need to be there, which could be removed to make room for far more effective things. They have refused to do anything along the lines of creating another game mode, which would be a very simple manner to do, actually, and to remove that foolish MMR and grading system whatsoever and actually have it be casual play. Play how you need, that's how the game will advance. Adaptation from each side is what makes the game grow. Correct. But the problem is that the sides aren't adapting. The killers have to adapt. Because whenever the survivors don't like something, they complain enough and the devs wind up changing it. So they're not adapting. They're complaining and having the game adapted to their liking. Check the patch notes. It's nutty, the things that they think that they need. How many second chances do you really need when there are 4 of you and your objective is to complete 5 generators that take 80 seconds to complete on your own with no assistance from any kind of perk or item? That is 1 minute and 20 seconds of your time. And if everyone else is doing that while one person is being chased, that's most of the match is gone. But uses seen that go for kill. Can you rephrase that sentence? My brain is having a hard time breaking that one down. Legitimate issue that I have. Not trying to say anything. It's just like I legitimately sometimes my brain won't compute how something is written. It has like a semantic error, and it doesn't want to understand it until it's like rephrased in a way that I can kind of get it. It makes typos really difficult too. No! Okay, so you can fall from there now, that's nice. But I don't want my character hitting its head up on the thing above it and basically having a Super Smash Brothers down B spike happening from a damn platform. Yeah, okay. Rotate. Shove that back. It has gone back and forth is what that is meant to say, more or less. First it was killers complaining when me and you started, so they made a bunch of OP killers with high perks, then the survivors started crying. I mean, when we started, things were a bit more balanced, but then they started swapping out their developer team, and then things started changing out more drastically, and killers started getting nerf after nerf after nerf, and survivors kept getting buffed. And then they give us like pity things like oh, we'll go ahead and make it so the decisive strike nerf, but look at how long it took them to rework keys and the hatch mechanic versus how long it took them to nerf Moris. Like, they do make some balancing changes, I readily admit that, because I am ecstatic with the changes that have been recently in development on their PTB with Hemorrhage and a few other changes. How did that... Not only that, but even with my limited knowledge of things, I have seen that there have been some problems in their system, which is built in Unreal 4, by the way, that those problems shouldn't exist, considering they're using an engine which there is so much support for. It makes no sense for them to not be able to fix the problems that they have. The whole drama with stretched res could have been fixed with a single checkbox in the project settings. I don't understand what some of their decision-making processes are. Okay, but like, look, the perk that makes Gen unable to be worked on for, what is it, 60 seconds, leaving a good time jump to start hunting. You're talking about Corrupt Intervention. Okay, so Corrupt Intervention, one-time perk, blocks gens at the start. The three gens that are closest to one another get blocked. So that basically can help secure a 3-gen, sure. But gens can be completed before those get unblocked, and if you find one person, that's still 3 gens done. It just stops specific gens from getting done for a little bit. I was talking and I totally didn't even realize that our thing works here. Yeah, so Corrupt Intervention is a one-time thing at the start. It doesn't like block anything else afterwards, so it does give you a little jump start, which is good for killers that like need that, which is honestly most of them, and that's a reason why it's such a meta perk. But honestly, any good survivor will know to just go after totems to boon them or break them, and or just work on a different gen. I mean, it's really more of a minor inconvenience than anything really game-changing. That really just changes your tracking from 7 gens to 4. So you're really only ignoring one small section of the map, which you can, through just common sense and knowing, not common sense, but after playing enough, you start knowing that you spawn in one spot and survivors will spawn basically as in a fan direction away from where you are. And there is some radius where they cannot spawn around you, and you can kind of see where you are on the map and be like, okay, so they're going to be over there. So you can start harassing them almost immediately. Honestly, I'm gonna need to start coding in this here soon. I'm just gonna take a small little detour. We're gonna try and call as much as we can out about a match real quick. At my daylight. Yeah, we're gonna do PvP. Unreal. Not Unreal. No, that's not what I wanted to type. PvP. Evil. Neutral. And we can hit update on that. I'm just saying I've seen at least 3 flips in the 3 years or so I've been playing, and it will flip again. Yeah, I'm hoping it does flip again. Actually, not flip again. I'm hoping that they will actually just balance their game, but at this point they are going to need to, like... They're going to need to do something either really drastic or just kind of start over. Because there's a whole lot, like, behind the scenes that that needs work. From design perspectives. Let me pop this HDR on real quick and fix the game capture. Oh yeah, they're giving free blood points. I forgot about that. Executioner, Deathslinger, right. It's hard to please both sides, and when you put a new idea and play live, it's hard to go for full balance. It always takes work. I'm not that critical with things anymore. Yeah, I've become more critical of things since I started really getting into this, because it's the reason I got into it. I crave that balance and order, and I will find a way. I will. Like, that's just my commitment. I want to find a way to make sure that everything works as intended, as the developer intended, as it should have worked to begin with. And that is maintained throughout the development cycle, and that, you know, as things are handed down from team to team, that there is proper documentation of how everything works. Because my guess is that as soon as they started swapping people out on the development team and almost all of the original developers were gone, no one knew how to work the game anymore, or what the original, like, outline was supposed to even be anymore. So they're just kind of flowing with it. Which may or may not be their fault. You know, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at Behavior, but they are a whole company, and there needs to be checks and balances between people making decisions there. Because I watched the developer live streams, and, like, they just don't seem to care what their community is saying anymore. And they outright, like, admit that they don't play the way that their players play.
You just gotta realize that everybody's gonna be on your tail from 5 o'clock until the day you die.
What you do, you're gonna have millions of people complaining. That is true. That is true. But you can't let their complaints make you lose sight of what it's supposed to be. If they're complaining about something and they want, you know, something custom catered, then they will need to go and get something, you know, more custom tailored. But you have to set out the boundaries of what your game is supposed to be, and not... there has to be some sanctity there. And if you're going to claim to be a 1v4 asymmetrical horror game, then those are the baseline components that you need to keep. Keep the horror component, keep the asymmetrical component, and make sure that it is 1v4 asymmetrical and balanced within that. When you hear 1 versus 4 and you think balance, you think the 1 is strong and the 4 are strong together. One person should not be able to run a killer the entire match while the rest of the team does literally all of the rest of their objective and then teabags at the exit gate. It's broken. And it doesn't promote interaction between the players in the match. From a design perspective, it is broken. That's not me talking from a salty player perspective. That is the survivors, to win, they do not need to interact with the killer, technically. That's why a killer can be AFK the entire match, and the survivors can get out and win. So I spawned over here, so I know they're not going to be over there. They're going to be around here, going in this direction. So I come out here to try and see if anyone spawned close to those. And there we go. She is lagging to high hell. We know there's someone else over here. I think they ballooned Toad up on the second floor here. She dropped, she went back this way. Got her. I also know that guy was over there, but we're gonna leave him. Hang on, I can't read that whole message just yet, but I will. What's up, buddy? He's got a key. That doesn't really matter anymore, but he's got a key. We'll snuff this out. Boons are broken. They're trying to nerf them to make them more balanced, but they are inherently broken. Oh, also, this guy. Disrespectful. So we've got one injured upstairs, we've got this guy down. We never wanted to interact. The idea was always to do gens as fast as possible, and you're still having to get caught, run them as long as possible. But see, that's like, then the game is just gen simulator. You're playing the game as intended. Well, you're playing the game as it is showing you that it is intended to be played, which is to just plow through those gens and never interact with the killer. Ugh. I'm gonna kick this first. So that doesn't make for like good game design for the killer. Then that makes it only fun for the survivors who, you know, can win all the time. And that's why we've got the coup de grace. Oh! I should have taken the time to aim! Yeah, buddy. Harpoon this guy 3 times. Killers were set above Survivor. Well, yeah, back when it was on their old system, and everything was just randomized for the sake of being randomized. That should have hit him. But again, the killer is supposed to be set above survivors for the sake of balance, because they are supposed to be the stronger of the two. Come here. And killers didn't really have a problem with it because they didn't notice it. They didn't notice it because chases were possible. Survivors didn't have so many second chance perks for them to have literal solo capability. Come here. She doesn't want to go towards Shaq. Don't say. Where? There's 2 sets of totems. Draw. That's just it. The survivor gameplay is the same. Do gens get out? Their gameplay never has to change, and they will still win. And the killers have to be the ones to constantly be adapting and changing their playstyle. Counter tunneling and camping. More and more killers started tunneling because that. Well, let me finish reading when I have the time to do so here, before I just start speaking from gamer perspective versus developer perspective. I want to be able to make sure that I can have that distinction between them. Both of them. Really? She already went past? Had to have. I don't know what totems they're running. He left? He actually left and I didn't have to break the pallet? Oh. There's the game. Easy wins. feel a little quick to you. Ah! Even with coup de grace, I got nothing. It's okay. We've got, what do you call it? Oh, of course. This is what the game, you know, ends with. Even with me getting semi-consistent downs and, you know, doing the effort, they can still get out, do whatever, and they're cocky about it because they know that typically they will get out almost scot-free. She ran the fuck out real quick. He bagged at the exit for a second. So 1 down without me playing scummy and camping hooks and all that other stuff. And this is the kind of thing that winds up promoting killers to want to do the tunnel and camp playstyle, which is definitely a playstyle, just like, you know, just complete the gens and get out. But that's what I mean about scummy, non-fun gameplay. From a design standpoint, if your players aren't having fun, do I? And see, only one of them was breaking totems. The other ones were just booning them over and over, and that's why I use Noed now. Because no one's breaking the totems anymore, so it's a free perk that will actually see use at the end of the game. Right. Let me actually read through. Nice going against you again. Hey, Izzy, how's it going? I didn't realize you were one of the people, you were the bloody Leon named Frog. It was nice going against y'all. I'm just taking a little bit of a development break to go ahead and play through and show a friend the current state of the game, which I need to read back here. They had to find a way to counter tunneling and camping, etc. More and more killers started tunneling. You are not a dick, so you don't tunnel, but you are you underestimate how many killers do. I couldn't get any of my friends to play the game because of it. They all quit. They seen a lot of players stop playing because of that, which is why I'm saying you're suffering because of toxic killers. Well, the reason that those toxic killers came to be was because of the survivors. Because in order for them to get those kills and in order for them to persuade the survivors to stop working on the generators for even a moment so that way they could get some interaction and some gameplay, you know, in order to do that, they had to play scummy so that way they stop pounding gens, even though that is literally the solution to the tunneling and camping. Finish the match out. That person might not make it. That's part of the game, right? But that's not fun. Ergo, part of their whole like core element is unfun and needs to be reworked. Now, with that in mind, they have to find a way to make it harder for Survivor again, but still counter that. Play as your best killer. I see top-level Nurse still seems to be wild. Remember when people would only play Nurse? Yeah, Nurse play is still good because the Nurse can disobey the laws of physics and go through walls, but there's still a whole lot of broken spots where she can't teleport through. There's dead zones all over the place. There's this asthma attack bug where you will blink once and then as you're trying to charge your next one, she'll just like start rapidly, like as if you were rapid firing the right click and just going and you'd never get your blink off. It would just do that until you triggered your fatigue. And they didn't fix it forever. I haven't seen it in a while, but I did see it resurge like once in like the past month or two, so it's not fully gone, but we definitely saw it kind of diminish a bit. That's what my point is, that back when killers were OP, they were still tunneling and camping, they were OP and doing that. I was on my way to cleanse the Noed when I saw you and threw my character in reverse. Yeah, I saw you hauling towards it, and I was like, the doors aren't over there, so I'm gonna stop this one. That's why I stomped out a totem, one of the boon totems too, because I saw you cleansing totems, and then I knew that there were 2 totems that were booned, that you wouldn't be able to break. So I waited until close to the end to go ahead and snuff that one out. High MMR is now still just Omega Blink Nurse and Hug Tech Blight. Oh, Mega Blink. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Me no Mega Blink. If by Omega... Wait, do you... When you say Omega Blink, do you mean Multi-Blink or the Distance Blink? Because I don't do either of them. I do Fatigue from Chain Blinks and Recharge Time. Because them putting Recharge Time on the Nurse Blink was something I hated. Sorry, not Recharge. Charges on there. The maximum distance blink nurse, I do like doing that. If I have a feeling like I'm gonna wind up on a bigger map. But I usually try and stick to my cooldowns in case well, in the inevitability that I'm gonna take a chance to swing on a survivor and they're gonna have dead hard. Because I can't just bait that out with the nurse. Because, you know, I'll blink on them and still get a fatigue anyway. So I may as well try and surprise them and get the hit in, but, you know, 9 times out of 10, even if I do try and bait the hit first, they will wait until the last second and still get that perfect dead hard. 4K this match, and I remember when you used to do that. I don't know if it's possible now for me. We'll see though. I just turned up the volume on my headphones, so I should be able to hear things with full clarity. I'm also going to close the door. Tunnel for the sub? No, won't do it. I mean, if a light tunnel is merited, the way that I've started to play scummier without, like, breaking my own rules of making the game completely unfun for people is, if the survivors unhook in front of me, I'm not going to be the nice guy and ignore that they unhooked in front of me. I'm not going to assume that they have borrowed time. I'm going to take the swing. And if the person gets downed, I'm putting them back up on the hook. If they have decisive, good. If not, oh well. They shouldn't have unhooked in front of me. I consider that very disrespectful. That is a flex that should be allotted only to the power roll, and I don't like that survivors are that comfortable with doing it. I knew there was someone else here. Where'd you go? That's ridiculous. And this tile is cancer. I didn't even notice the nodding while you were on the chain, honestly. I am sorry to say, I didn't notice that at all. So right now we're a distance into this match, and I haven't even been able to get a hit. There's one gen. People are going stealth mode. Try me again. Is that a basement? No. Alright, Scourge hooks. There's 2 gens. Are you kidding me with the dead zones? That's that crap I'm talking about, man. Shit really pisses me off when things are broken like that. We're gonna go back for the hook because they're already getting it. Eyes, thank you. I'm sorry. Really quiet. Nice hit, man. Thank you. When I start to get annoyed, I start just swinging while I'm still in my, I swore I thought I heard what's her name. There's a glyph there. You're alone, near gen, and healing. Oh, that was, KV. Where are you? Don't disrespect my corporeal body like that. Did she just trigger the... Yeah, she blocked it. Cool. You know, usually when I play Nurse, exactly what's happening happens. They put me on one of the biggest maps, and then I gotta sweat just to travel the map, and that's like the biggest problem that I have to experience. Which, because I'm Nurse, makes it easier, but also a big problem because as I'm constantly getting winded and... I'm sorry. Where did you run off to? Where did you come from, and where did you go? Where did those scratch marks fucking go? There he is. I knew there was another one. Too busy watching me instead of looking where you were going. One of the biggest problems I see with a lot of the perks that cause interruptions and can actually work to delay survivors is that almost none of them apply to the exit gates except for Remember Me. But it also doesn't apply to certain other ones that would be very useful, such as... Sorry, what now? No, no, John to the G. Not today. Fuck. Hello? Oh. practically had to throw my mouse to hit that shot. 4 gens done, 80% of their objective is complete, and only 30% of mine is complete. Sorry. 4, 8, 12. Yeah, about 33. Now we're at 50% of our objective complete. I'm sorry, I really want to look more into the chat, but now it's like the crunch time because of shit like this. Alright, he's just going for distraction tactics. These are some stealthy survivors. I feel obligated to call you a nerd. Well, I am. I'm literally going into video games for, like, my life goal. That's some nerd shit. They gave me a 3-gen. They very accidentally gave me an unironic 3-gen right here on this huge-ass map. I don't need to go too much further. They're all healed, though, so this is going to be annoying dealing with. Slow distraction tactics. Knew it. Dead hard, which extra penalty for the nurse, so literal best counter ability. That hit. That was a risky one. I don't know if I'd even accept that. I don't know if this guy's dead on hook. He might be the only one that I actually get killed here. 3-gen on Mother's Dwelling, bless. Yeah, but again, there's not much I could have done. If I wanted, unless I wanted to literally hijack the match, there was nothing else I really could have done. The gates are far enough that I'm not going to be able to, like, fully defend them and this hook. So I might have to ignore one to go for the other. Nah. Where'd she go? You got decisive? Let's find out. Yep. He's gonna go the direction she went. Also, I heard you. Dead hard. And they picked him up. I need to break this. They picked him up and healed him. I don't know where he was. Yep. Oh, she never even left either. See? Even with an experienced nurse blinking around, getting like vicious hits that shouldn't have even landed, but still landed, I still got out of there with 0 kills. Strongest killer in the game. 0 kills. that is why you wound up experiencing, and why so many of the remaining killer players left resort to camping and tunneling, because the only way that that would have happened differently, I promise you, is if I had camped someone, then they would have stopped doing generators and they would have all converged to try and get the unhook, because they're like, oh, this asshole wants to camp, we're going to get the unhook, and then blah 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 blah. That is almost always what happens. Like, I don't even want to bring Moris. Like, I'd like to bring Moris, but then the gameplay, that guarantees the gen rush and 99ing the doors immediately without any kind of interaction in between. Sometimes, if I start messing up a little bit in the match, they'll get extra confident and they'll start fucking around. And I'm okay with that, because then I can capitalize on some mistakes. But there's, like, as a supposed power role, you shouldn't need to count on your opponent's mistakes for victory. Like, you shouldn't have to depend so heavily on it. Let's see. Oh, wow. Let me actually read. Don't disrespect my corporeal body like that. Yeah. I get really annoyed when they do that. When they take advantage of that. It's cool, just focus on the game. 3-gen Mother's Dwelling, bless. Really wish it were enough. You actually, if you want to win a match on almost anything, play with an endgame build, and then somehow magically all survivors will start playing like crap and make stupid mistakes, and you'll never get to use your build. And that will be like the entire thing. Most times that I play an endgame build, somehow, for some reason, I don't get to see the endgame with it. Which means I was playing the game with basically no perks, because nothing activates until the endgame collapse. It's fun times. Which, if anyone's curious, a killer should fully be able to win a match perkless against survivors, with or without perks. Because that is what a power role should do, and perks are not meant to be dynamically, like, hugely game-changing. They're supposed to be things that cater to particular playstyles. So healing perks should be if that person has a particular quirk that they want to focus on healing. They want their build-out to be more like that, so be it. And if a killer wants their perk loadouts to be more about tracking to kind of help them out with that, and then so be it. But there shouldn't be anything that's, like, drastically game-breaking in a perk. All I can say is this: you do have fair points, but I just don't see anything too different from 3 years ago. You're a good guy, but most killers camp and tunneled back when it wasn't needed. Played a lot at rank 1, and it was killer after killer that was toxic. Because, again, that's the state of the game towards the end game. If the killer could guarantee kills without needing to camp and tunnel, they probably would have. Again, it's also, you can't really guess everything that a person's gonna do. Your auto-targeting sucks behavior. That's another thing that is drastically unneeded. What are you doing? We both have fair points, and that's going to be the hardest thing, is trying to find balance in something that didn't really have it to begin with. Creates extra problems. What is going on here? I don't know what these guys are doing. They kind of have a bit of an erratic play style that's not making a whole lot of sense. It's almost like they haven't played a nurse before. I ran into super killers that played so good that it seemed like that had hacks. Facts. They just went beyond as good killers. Extra full second of cooldown. We're going to kick this. Mr. Holistics is almost dead. There's no one going for him. Let's see if this still works. Doesn't seem like it does. Watching a good nurse is so fun. I am flattered that you consider me a good nurse. Surprise! Hello! And let's take you to the bone zone! And by that I mean a scourge hook. I see a shadow this time. Oh, it's you. I love that scourge hook. Yes! Everyone! Oh, everyone! I knew that she had Dead Hard, and I knew that she was waiting to use it. I just wanted to go for it anyway. Yep. See, this is what I mean about the predictability of survivors. If you start playing scummy, they will start making misplays. I know she has a flashlight, I know she wants to use it, and I know that this guy's on death hook. It's unfortunate, but now he's out of the match, and it's not a fun experience for him, guaranteed. Because he's gonna feel like he was tunneled out of the match, because he barely got to play any. This person made their mistakes, and now I see that this person is like right in my face here, so I can do this, down her, and put her up on the scourge hook over here. This is what happens when survivors misplay against a good killer. But if they choose to completely 100% ignore my efforts, then they can just hammer gens and be done in no time. Or I could just get smacked by some rocks, because the auto target chooses the rocks to be more important. If you're not a good nurse, then the lack of kills is your fault. Yeah, right? The thing is that the lack of kills happens more often than you are apparently willing to believe, and it makes me feel like I'm a bad player. I'm sorry, how did she make that movement? Worst killer to ever play killer, hands down. So let me ask you, how often do you have you encountered or seen survivors letting a killer get a kill on them for free? Oh! The last second timings of everything that happened there made me very, very happy as a player. I just have a lot of experience from the other side, and I see people killing, and I see the side of your point. I do it a lot, actually. Yeah, you do it a lot. That's one of the things that drew me to you as, you know, a content creator, streamer, and just in general person, because that felt more balanced to me than what other players expect. Because you always hear about people being like, oh, the killer didn't give me hatch, blah, 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 I played good, I did all this other stuff, and the killer's not required to do that. They're not entitled to it. But they always want to say that the killer's a bad person for not giving them the free escape. That's the hatch. Today I let a mic T3 off me. See, that's again, that's huge. Other survivors won't really do that. It's far rarer to find a survivor that'll let a killer even get a hook, much less a free kill or anything to help them really progress anything, without, like, some sort of coaxing or something happening in between. I can't see through the corn, so I couldn't tell. And these two matches are prime examples of kind of like the duality of the MMR, because on one side you have the low MMR, or like, I'm dancing the line of MMR. That's why my games are always hit or miss. It's always one way or the other. So I will either run into the match that we had before this, where I try really hard and it's definitely not going to pan out, and you can kind of feel that halfway through the match. But now, because I lost that one, didn't get the 4 kills, or didn't get any kills at all, now it set me to this point. He's not going to make it. I have matches where I play hard, the killer should kill, that's their job. That's just it, that's our job, but the survivors like to complain when the killer does their job by any means, even you yourself, because tunneling and camping, right? But those are legitimate ways for the killer to reach their job, right? And you were saying that since you do play Survivor more, it was more of an annoyance to you, and you're speaking on behalf of the survivors, but it's the same problem on both ends, because we both have conflicting, you know, goals. Your goal is not to play with the killer. Your goal is to fix generators and get out, to get away from the killer, to stay away from the killer. But the killer's goal is to play with you as much and as often as they can until you are gone. And, you know, if one side does really well, then the other side is always going to feel like they were gypped out of their gaming experience because they weren't able to do their task, their job. you know? Also, I just remembered, I want to announce it now, that I do have, oh wow, okay, so I was supposed to have a phone call that never came through. Interesting. I'll give my ortho people a phone call after the stream. I was gonna say, because, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we started at 2. Why is my live time so far off? I think my live time's off because we had a disconnect earlier. That's right. Right, so we only have 18 minutes left of stream. That's not really going to be too much time for me to go back and work on that project, so I'm going to do another match to round this out. I'll show you the new killer from the new killer's perspective, if you haven't already tried it and experienced it yourself. Which, by the way, having you here this whole time has been really nice to have someone to talk to. I don't have a bot active. I mean, I kind of have a bot active, but I haven't really messed with it. Because I've lost my bot like 3 times. I'll be honest. None of that stuff's up. My uptime is currently 2 hours and 17 minutes and 38 seconds. There, you put the command in, and I, as a robot, as a literal bot in life, will answer. Oh, they gave Nia a hoe outfit to hide the fact that she's the entity. Exclamation, I don't remember shut. Yeah. I don't remember shut either. I used to have bots that were, you know, I took the time to get them all up and running, and then when I switched computers, I didn't swap it over properly or something. I always wound up screwing something up in transition, and then Streamlabs has like their bot built in, the cloud bot, and then there's like the Twitch bot and the like there's so many. You haven't seen her yet? Yeah. Yes, sir. The girl from the ring. I won't try and pronounce the name, but the Onryo is here. Her playstyle does lend really well to hit and run tactics. The only problem is that with the heal meta, it's never really going to work out unless you're using her iridescent add-on. I was talking, so I didn't fully read that, but I think it said main building for the hatch. I don't know. Got the Why isn't my shit telling me anything? I'm so sorry that I didn't just see that. You did just put my my snowman emote in there, and that hasn't changed. Honestly, I am intending to change it soon. Thank you so much for the sub, people. Really, I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you coming back after so long, and still, you know, being a very strong cheerleader in my corner for this. You were there from my start. And even though it doesn't look like much has changed, because the view counts and everything are still the same, but it's I'm still going at it, and I feel like I'm getting better bit by bit as I go, and getting more footing each stream, everything I do, because I feel like I'm still trying to find the niche that I'm gonna fit, and I think making content around the creation of my games and game creation content is going to be the future of my channel here. And then, of course, you know, testing breakdowns and reactions to other people's existing content. I'm going to go after this one. I didn't know that that would work. And she dead-hearted, so we spooked her. Let's try and get her up on this hook. Who's Z-Day? Z-Day is one of my mods. He's also someone that I served with when I was in the army, and in general, good guy. And one of the few regulars we got here. Okay, so there was someone here. go. Don't you dare. Saw that she was trying to crawl back under there. I ain't allowing it. I don't like him at all. It's because of, what, the power? Does the power seem too oppressive to you? The only reason that the power seems half as good is because I'm using the iridescent add-on that gives me my cooldown back. There you go. I don't typically bag unless I'm face camped and manage to slither out of it, out at the end. Just watch the VOD of your gameplay. You thought I bagged you at the exit gate, but I didn't. I just wanted to oh, okay. I appreciate you for clarifying. The last second thing. There's the sub noti. Oh, there's the phone call that I was expecting, and they are very, very late now. So they will have to wait. Oh, you don't like Z-Day. Why? Because they're first on all my boards and everything? Funny thing is, he's the type of supporter and mod that when he sees that he's not first, he swoops in and tries to steal it. The fuck. Yay! Thank you so much for the bits, man. I appreciate it. That's so nice of you, really. Thank you. A, you don't have to, and B, I think you had a bid war with Z-Day before, actually, now that I think about it. Oh, wrong one. Actually, this could work out for me. Hey. Oi, oi. Yeah, I'll feed you. There, I like him. His ears will be ringing eventually. He usually, his work schedule fluctuates as much as my school schedule does. Oh, hey. Yeah, let's get this out the way. Got another hit. And we got this one down. One Punch Man. Definitely took more than one punch. He let me win after over $100. You seem to play better with her because she doesn't have a fatigue cooldown for her power. Not when she's using this add-on combination. This iridescent add-on makes it so anytime that I land a hit with her, after I land a hit after re-manifesting like that, it refreshes the last 4 or 5 TVs I used for teleportation, which means that the only TVs that will stay, you know, unable to be accessed by me are the ones that they turn off. So if they don't turn off TVs, then I have free reign to teleport wherever I need to. And it gives me a little speed boost too. One Punch Man down. Let's see. Demanifesting at drop pallets can often trick survivors into thinking you're breaking the pallet, which leads to easy hits. I actually didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. I usually do that to bait the pallet drop. I don't usually try and bait the pallet break. So that's an interesting tactic that I should give a shot at. People, holy shit, I just realized you also cheered another 19 bits. Thank you so much. And another 10 bits on top of that. Dude, thank you so much. That's a whole lot of love and support. Ah, I was hoping. Let's see. So the add-on combination I'm using makes it so not only do I refresh the TVs, but it also, if I remanifest and they're within a certain range of me, they will scream, unless they're using add-ons that stop them from screaming. Fuck! It grabbed the wrong one. I think there was someone else there. Potentially trying to turn off that TV. I also just realized everyone else is injured, but we've been keeping steady pressure, so we are still at 4 gens. People have been doing it with Spirit for a while now, faking a Spirit Walk to make them jump the pallet right into a free hit. Yeah, but they can't fake the walk. They can't fake Spirit Walk anymore. It's a guaranteed thing. Because you can hear directionally where the spirit's coming from when they're phasing. So they massively nerfed her her ability to sneak up on survivors like that. Yeah, she was gonna keep looking back and not unhooking until I dropped this one. Oh, someone also just grabbed the TV around here. There's the yell. This Claudette poofed. I only wanted to down this girl to get some extra pressure, but if Claudette's gonna vanish that quickly and not try and, you know, help prevent the hook, then okay. That's that thing. She knew I was right here. Thank you so much for another 10 bits. Jesus, man, thank you so much. The Spirit Walk is harder to fake now. Let's see, still works. I'm trying to read through the Gotcha, bitch. Auto-targeting. Any survivor who knows what they're going against won't fall for it. Yeah, essentially. Like I said, Heblum, if you're just coming back to the game, then your MMR is going to be pretty low, and you're going to have the actual fun matches at your disposal. She's going to break out before I can get her there, and I just brought her to a window. Oh, this is also One Punch Man, so this is their final hook. Another 5 bits. Thank you so much, Heblum. I don't know what I'm doing to earn it, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to try and finish this up before our 5 o'clock limit here. Which, by the way, stay tuned. Next year, we're going to have some bigger changes happening with timing, scheduling, and other things for the channel and for the future. But that's for another announcement at another time. Thank you for another 5 bits, man. It's downstairs. It is definitely downstairs, round the back. Good, a whole new schedule. I won't know. Well, if you hop into the Discord, you might know it. Oh, really? They waited there. That's hijacking the match. I'm a horrible friend. It's cool. Yes, next year I will be switching things up. I mean, granted, our schedule changes based on our school schedule because I obviously need to work the stream around my classes. But we will be having more streams more often and all that starting next year. I will be getting my associates next year at the start of the year and trying to jump straight into what do you call it? Into my bachelor's. But I'll just have more time. More time next year to commit to the channel and to improving my development skills so we can work on school projects and more personal projects and everything starting next year. That's a whole... Man's going crazy with my biddies, and I am happy with it. I am very, very happy with it. Bro, thank you so much for all the support. I'm not going to count up all the individual biddies, but I'm just going to bless. Thank you so much. So that was the new killer. That was my usual rant on the broken things in the game. Although we did have some better fun matches at the end there. I think literally if this were made base kit, that would be a little overpowered. If they made it like you hit a survivor within 8 seconds of manifesting, turns on like the last TV you use for projection or the last 2 TVs you use for projection, and make that base kit, then that would make her a good balanced out one that can be used at like all tiers. Because she'd still have to be decent enough to predict and cut people off and get those hits with demanifesting. That is a lot. See you in the fog, Izzy. You can just see it on my #1 spot. Well, see, I'm on a multi-stream chat right now. If I go back here to the Twitch, yeah, there we go. 95 biddies. You're beating Z-Day by 70 biddies, and he gonna step in at some point. I promise you. But you'll have to keep coming back to know when he does, though. There's that subtlety, that subtle slip in to try and get you to come on back in. But that's gonna wrap it up for us here. I'm going to go to the stream ending tab. We're gonna close this out so that way it's not in the background making a whole bunch of unnecessary screeching noises. Yeah, so I want to go ahead and say thank you to everyone that participated today, which was a whole lot of Heblum. And we also, of course, I cannot forget Izzy with Cheese. You were on our first little match there when we started up on DBD. Oh, hold up. Held message. Okay, I've got the phone call coming through. So, Izzy, thank you for your participation, and Heblum, thank you so much for all of your support, my man. I gotta go. This is a medical phone call to take. Anyone I missed, I'm so sorry, but I will see you.